Okay, I'm back. Just to remind you what's up, we're building the game of Mastermind, which looks like, well, this is what Target is. This is the board game from Target's two-player game. One player controls these pegs, hides them, and rates the other player with these small pegs who uses these big pegs to try to guess the color of these. If you didn't understand that, Google will probably explain it better. Also, okay, this is what we made so far. The other beautiful thing you can look at is this. I'm going to refresh this. How to play. Skip, this is an online version, and you can find it at www.mikedow.com/portfolio/mastermind. It's me /mastermind. It's indexed at HTML. Okay, how to play. If you look down here, I really don't want to do that. I want to hit skip. Skip that. These buttons down here, oh, look at that. Look what happens when you do that. This is where we're at here. We're just building the board. We haven't given it anything, but we want to put the colors you can choose, and we want to give it something like that. That's really cool. Okay, so let's do it. Here's where we're at. There's a few little things I wanted to switch between now and the first. By submit button, I was working on the colors. I think I wanted to call this actually, and this is such a minor thing, AA. That's right here. So let's see if that did something. Okay. The other thing was on the answer box. Guest container. This is on the answer. Went the wrong way. The answer box. No. This thing right here. I have a little too much. Here's the colors I want to go from. It's very subtle, but I think it has a good effect. Well, you'll see. We're talking about this thing right here. It has a good effect on a small area. I think that does something, and I could be totally wrong, that makes it look like I have a typo. So I was like, that really looks just regular blue. There we go. I think it looks like it's folded up and you can like flip it over and there's pegs under there. I think that. You know what would be nice is if we could imagine that this covered this. I might flex and do that later. That's not a big deal. Also, we could give these some colors too. So I'm gonna. What were those? Those were called. Were those the guess pegs? Guess peg. Yeah, we don't have anything. Let's just get a background. Actually, can I like this? Did I have that thing copied? Command V. Oh, totally not. BACKGROUND LINE linear gradient dash GRAD. And the gradient we want to give it is, remember this is the hexadecimal, and we're going to go from that to blue. So it's just really variations on blue. Just so you can tell these pegs are something to them. You know, is that the best, coolest color ever? Probably not. And then in fact, maybe a cooler color would we have on a grade peg. Here's the color I want to put there. I just want to switch these two. And if you say these colors aren't so great, like I said before, I can't even dress myself. Tell them what clothes to wear. I could put them on. So, okay. That's supposed to highlight those or whatever. Moving on to this down here. What did we call this section down here? Let's look at our index.html. If you remember, I was going to fix all of these, indent them. Didn't do that. Next time. In the selection container, Command C, that's where we're at. I think I already have that. We're going to put in some more circles. Div tab selector. Selection container is a selector, so these selectors are going to show up next to each other, not stacked. So selector, this is right down here. Selection the container, Command V. We got to give it a width and a height, but we don't have to give it any width and height. What? Command Z. Enter. The width of these, so we want 6 different colors. 6 times 16 is 96%. The height we could put at 100%. Let's just put it like 98. We might have to word that earlier. And we're going to have inside of that selector, you know what? I'm going to change it already. We're going to have inside of the selector, we're going to have a wrapper. Let me get rid of these white spaces. They're driving me crazy. This is a selector wrapper. Nah, I don't know what to call it. I'm going to call it outer. And then inside of it, we're going to have div tab. Did I just not do something right? Command Z, tab, div tab, selector, dash inner. Okay, honor, inner. So let's get that. Command C. Go over to our main. So this was selector dash outer dot command V, selector inner. Yeah, we want this line. There's just, this is what we've been doing to draw the lines. Oh, didn't like that, but that's all right. I'm going to put this line right there. So you want to make it a circle. Let's take a look-see. Command S to save that and refresh this. What in the world? That is definitely too big. Definitely too big. I don't know why. Because we have this inside of that. I don't know why. And that's, I'm thinking. It's actually bugging me. Okay, there's one. Now I'm going to have a circle inside of there with a color in it. I really don't know why. Why would that not be? I mean, the heights. Do I have a? I'm not going to overthink it, but I am going to take this time to show you something that I should have showed you a long time ago. Command Option full screen. I can look at this. I'm going to hit Command Option I, and this thing over here is going to pop up on the right. This is the magical window for the developers. I want to look at my elements. These are my elements. Do you recognize this? This is what I've written. This is the div. Look at all this. Here's my answer container. Let's look at my selection container. Let's look at my outer selector. Wow. And as I hold over it, it highlights down here. Watch down here. There that is. I'm going to go to the container itself. Dink, it highlights the whole thing. So I'm going to click on this, and it's showing me right here. Here's how big your padding is. Here's how big your border is. Here's how big your margin is. Sometimes when you have area, you're like, what is crowding this out? What's making this wrong? You come to this thing called the box model, and it is your friend. The box model is your friend. So if I hit this, I see that. Look at down at the bottom right here. No, where'd it go? No, dang it. Look how that's over. That's something on the bottom. Can I do this? It's coming over down here. Watch this when I do that. So if I come over to this box model, I was really hoping it would have the answers. Really hoping it would. As it turns out, though, by making it 82%, that pretty much solves the problem, so I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to close this, Command Option, just do that thing again. And I'm going to maybe make this we can have a margin. So we have an extra 4%. So we can have a margin, not left, I can't believe I did that. Margin 0.25 on each side of that, and auto, no, top and the bottom is 0. The left and right is 0.25. This isn't hard, 5 pixels. Put that in, and it's going to move ever so slightly when I hit refresh. Well, it was even less than so slightly. Inside of this, we want another circle. So let's go to here, div tab, and this is, oh, I already have it, it's my inner selector. Something else is going to be here, and I'll just put it for now. I'm going to put red. And that red is not a placeholder. We're going to have 6 different colors. What are those colors going to be? We'll figure it out, but one of them is not going to be blue. That would kind of confuse us. So red, selector inner. So maybe I didn't explain this before. Like I have selection container and flexor. Let me go like this so you can see that I have this is basically giving it 2 different classes. One of them is a flexor class, and one of them is the selection container class. One of them is a selection inner class. One of them is the red class. The properties of these classes, I don't want them to conflict, but if they do, it'll default to the second class. I think. Let's put the inner class in. Let's just quit talking about it and do it. Selector inner. Let's put the CSS. What is the selector inner? It's got how high is it? We're going to call it a 60% high, and the width is going to be 60%. Right? Look good. And I'm going to undent this because those little things, you know, they just, border radius 50, and we're going to draw it. Okay, now it's not going to be centered yet. I'm going to hit refresh. It's not centered, but it's in there. So what are we going to do? Margin, 20%, because we got it's 60. Got 20% margin. Let's just see what that does. Just 20% margin on all sides. Why? Because it says margin left. That's why. It's double. I do not like that, Sam. I am. It isn't centered. I'm thinking it has something to do with this. Let's see if that makes a difference. Well, it made a difference. Just don't know if it was for the better. Here's what I'm going to do. Remember I told you we can give 4 different ones here. So the margin top I'm going to call 15%. Left 20%, right 20%, and bottom 25%. Let's see if that changes anything. It did. So it didn't, not sure I liked it. So we should have done like 18% and 22%. And we're also going to make this 18% and this 22%. We're just going to leave it, okay? And we gave it, we called it red. But what does red mean? Red means nothing. Let's say dot red. We got to get dot green. So we're making classes dot yellow. 3. I think there's more than dot black. Dot white. Brown or orange. Dot O-R-A-N-G-E. So these are the names of classes. They're also the names of colors. So I'm going to say background color, and I'm going to go Command C, Command V. And I'm going to actually copy this into all of these. Command C, Command V, Command V, Command V, Command V, Command V, Command C, Command V, Command C, Command V. Now, I haven't, in my index.html, I haven't used these, but I'm gonna. Just at this time, I decided to make the class before I made the colors. Index.html, it is time. So this one is red. So I'm gonna redo that, and now let's see what happens with the red. The inside turned red. Nice. Selector outer. I'm going to erase to get rid of this line. So these three things we have to change. 3, 4, 5, 6. So as it is now, I just made 6 red dots. So I've got to change it. We made one red. We made one green. We made one yellow. Tello. YELLOW. We made one black. We made one white. And we made one orange. So the class black, just so you say, the class orange, let's say, or the class black, is a class that makes the background of whatever it's in the color orange or black. So when I refresh this, oh, that is so beautiful. My only complaint is that orange is so close to yellow. So I'm going to call this brown, B-R-O-W-N, and Command C, Command V, Command Z, Command C, Command V. And in our index.html where we had orange, Command V, Command S, this last one's going to become brown. Good, I think that's distinct enough. One last thing we can do in HTML is we can, when we hover it, like you're not sure which one you're on, I mean you are because your mouse is on it, but we can make this outer and inner, the borders turn right. How can we do that? It's easy. It's easy. So what are those called? That's the selector inner, selector outer. Command C. Oh, I would do it right here, wouldn't I? This is called a pseudo class. That means it's this class when it's hovered, and this is only, it's this thing. I had that, that was that. What happens when I hover over this class? Well, what happens is, we'll just make this happen. Command C, Command V, white, Command S. Hover, oh man, that is so cool. I would like the same thing to happen with this inner selector. Command C, Command V. Let's just call this INNER, Command S, and refresh. Okay. We are done with just the appearance of it. I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. In fact, I just decided there's something I don't like. On the board, you want, I want to make it a box shadow, the whole thing. Box shadow, 10px, 10px, 15px. Remember, this is this far right, this far down. Blur it. So this is called the blur radius. I just don't know what it means. I just know it's less crisp when you don't do that. Basically, we just put a white edge around it. Ready? When I hit refresh, and if I think that the bottom, whatever I think, I can make this. We can make this black. I think like that better. Okay, we are done with this part. We can fine tune things like see how these are touching. There's a lot of little tiny things we can do. In fact, I mean, it can go on forever. So don't get into that, but the selection container, padding top, 2 pixels. So this box that these are in, I just gave it a padding on the top. And we see we have room on the bottom. I can't believe that's happening. Yeah, that just happened. I'm gonna decline that phone call. And I'm almost done. I'll call you back. Refresh. Okay, I slid it down. Well, see you next time. I got a phone call to make. It's my daughter. She is my ride today. Thank you for watching. See you in episode 4.